Everyone, and welcome to Chant Sama Day. Woo! Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Chant Sama Day. We are here live. We are live chanting a psalm. Thank you so much for joining Chant Sama Day. Greetings, everyone. Let's get this going. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. I wanted to be outside my window. I mean, right next to my window, so we can get started. Okay. Greetings, everyone. Thanks so much for joining. We're going to start with Psalm 13. That's the psalm for today. And guess what the word of the day is? Kindness. Kindness. Sometimes our truth that we speak of, our truth, may be offensive, and people may take it as cruel or not kind. When someone tells me I'm cruel because I'm telling the truth, my truth, and it's hard for somebody else to hear that, I speak to myself and I speak to my righteousness, the righteousness of God, to keep my words, my meditation acceptable in the sight of what is right. It may not be acceptable to people, but I'm asking that it's acceptable in the sight of what is righteous and good and kind and loving. So we have Psalm 13, and it's titled, How Long? How Long? And when we look at the Psalm today, it's only 6 verses, and it has a question. The question is, how long? And we're asking this in terms of righteousness, mercy, compassion. How long is it before we see that, before we experience this, right? Because we're in the midst of things that are really not that righteous. We have a world where we have fighting and war and, all these wrong things that are going on around us. So how do we keep going? How do we stay in that place of righteousness and goodness and mercy, and not in a judgment place where we're judging folks, right? That is not what we ultimately want to have happen. So today is August 21st. August 21st, 21, I believe, August 21. And when we look at the Psalm today, August 21st, it is Psalm 13. Okay, Psalm 13. And Psalm 13 gives us a question that we ultimately have to answer. Let me get my tea. Roasted roots. So this psalm is only 6 verses, only 6. and it's asking a question. So we question what's going on in the world. We question, how long will we be in the suffering, struggling situation, right? So in Psalm 13, the first verse is, how long, O Lord? How long, O righteousness? How long? How long? Will righteousness forget forever? How long will righteousness hide? Okay, now humans ask this question, right? And as a child of righteousness, as a daughter of God, and that is my father, my mother, my sister, my brother, my lover, my friend. That is who I put all my trust in. Any relationship I'm in, that's what's first. That's first. And then everything else can be into place. So the question becomes, how long must I have teaching in my life and sorrow in my heart all day? Okay, this is a question. People are going through this: anxiety, depression, childhood trauma, insecurities in their relationships. We have a lot of mental illness. We have a lot of mental challenges within people out here today. Me, myself, when it comes to mental health, I take it seriously, and I want to put things inside of my mental that's going to strengthen my journey, my reactions. It's going to strengthen the way I deal with people. It's going to strengthen the way I love my partner. It's going to strengthen the way that I move with my students. It's going to strengthen what I do. So the question in Psalm 13, verse 1 and 2 are questions. How long, how long, how long, how long? So the Psalm today is basically asking, how long is this going to keep going on like this? How long am I going to be away from the partner that I love? How long am I going to be, in a distance from the person that I want to be with? And work has come between that, right? So the question goes, how long, with the sorrow and the enemy exalting over you? How long is that going to be the case? And the enemy is yourself. You are your worst enemy, telling yourself that you're not worthy, telling yourself that you're not good and that you're bad. We are our own worst enemy. So the question is, how long shall that be exalted over I? You want righteousness to be exalted over you. Remember, righteousness is going to exalt a nation. So if it's doing that to a nation, imagine what it can do to you, the individual person, when you exalt that within yourself, that righteousness and goodness. Because you have enemies inside and outside. You got enemies, right? So verse 3, and when I saw my dad on the ground, lifeless, nothing there, I know that was an enemy, death. And I know that because of the love and righteousness of the Most High, that is God, Lord Jesus, that my dad did not he conquered the enemy of death, and he has been risen in the bosom of Abraham. As you can tell, it's still very fresh for me. It's still hard to think about seeing my dad like that, but I have to. My therapist says you got to talk about it. If you don't talk about it, it's going to bring you down. So you have to talk about it. And um, talking about it is part of my healing. So in this psalm today, it's we know that the last final enemy is death. And when that death comes, we know that we have an advocate that is righteousness, that's going to lift us up out of our dead bodies, the dry bones, as Ezekiel talks about in the book of Ezekiel, talking about the dry bones being, the dead is going to rise in righteousness, that is Christ, our Savior. So, in verse 3, it talks about being aware and answering, righteousness being aware and is going to answer I and I. So that goodness, that mercy, that love, that kindness is going to be ultimately our answer. That's your answer to all of verse 1 and 2. How long, how long, how long? Your answer is righteousness. That's what you wait for. That's what you are going to listen to the voice of. Okay? People that are suffering from mental illness may, like my son, my first son that passed away, would hear voices that would tell him bad things about himself or not good things that he needs to do to himself or to other people. And these voices. And a lot of our young men are suffering from schizophrenia and from mental illness. And when we pour into these individuals the life of Christ and cleanse them with that, right? With the knowledge and with the songs and with, listening to things that are going to uplift you, it may break through the walls of mental illness. Seriously. And it's not about praying for the person, because pray is also have the meaning of something that's going to be eaten up and devoured. So I'm going to talk to God. I'm going to talk to righteousness, speak to the goodness and mercy and compassion that is the most high, that's above us. We have to seek for what's above, not for what's below. Hell is low. That's not where we want to go. You bring hell on yourself with words that are representing or have that same vibrational sound as other words. So I stay away from words that have multiple meanings, and I go to the one word, one sound meaning, because it gives me power. It empowers my life. It empowers my knowledge of who I am as a daughter of God, as a daughter of the Most High. And as a queen, this is what I have to move. This is how I have to live my life. So, in verse 3, righteousness is going to answer and light up our eyes, because your eyes is going to be lighted up with righteousness. Because when you sleep the sleep of death, in your eyes is nothing. And I saw that with my dad laying on the floor. His eyes was open and there was no light in his eyes. None. None in his eyes. Seeing that is trauma. Seeing a lifeless body is trauma, is post-traumatic stress that I'm dealing with here. Because remember soldiers who are out in the battlefield seeing dead bodies all over them. they came back with post-traumatic stress. And these are people that bodies they may not have known who these people were. But it's harder when you know the person and you see the person on the ground there. That's traumatic. Very traumatic. It's not like he was in a hospital bed and, he was comfortable. He was on the ground. So, it's going to stay with me for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life, it's going to stay with me as a memory. But we have to know that righteousness is going to answer. It's going to light up our eyes because we have the enemy, death. Death is our final enemy. And that enemy is going to speak. I have prevailed over that one. Okay? But for righteousness, that's what the enemy is going to speak. Because we don't want these enemies rejoicing, because I and I are shaken. We are shaken. We're traumatized. We're sad. We're depressed. We have anxiety. We're insecure about past lives. We're jealous. We're envious. We're all these different things that represent being shaken. That's the definition of shaken. It's an operation definition, meaning that these things are coming at you to make you, shake. So, what do you do? In verse 5, it tells us what we need to do. Trust in the steadfast love of righteousness, and your heart is going to rejoice in the salvation, in the future of righteousness. You're going to chant to righteousness, because righteousness has dealt bountifully with I and I. That is the only thing that is going to save everyone, is righteousness. And standing firm in righteousness is grace in I and I life is the first step toward true humility. So when you step, I love this. This is coming from my daily Bible walk. When you step, it says, when you step toward true humility, you're going to step toward true humility when you're standing firm in the grace of righteousness in your life. Once you stand firm in that, you're going to be good. You're going to have humility. Good. So, at the end of this psalm, we see how you're going to be bountifully dealt with, right? You're going to be bountifully dealt with because of righteousness and because of your adulation. You're chanting, you're making melody to righteousness. And all this other stuff that is happening is going to fall away and be done. So that is Psalm 13. And Psalm 13 is about looking at that righteousness and having that humility toward true humility is what the outcome is. The outcome is true humility when you're standing firm in righteousness is grace in your life, okay? And that is the first step toward true humility, okay? Selah and Selah again. That was Psalm 13. I love it. And the word today, I just want to share with y'all, the word today is kindness. Kindness. Divine love flows through I and I as acts of kindness. So that love that's flowing, it's going to be operating in a kindness, because that love, the outcome of love is kindness. When love is present, kindness is the action behind that, right? That's one of the actions of kindness. So I ask that the word today, kindness, that is acceptable in the sight of all that is righteous. So looking back, and I don't look back, I look forward over the years. I remember kindness I received. Some from friends and family members, and others from acquaintances or even from strangers. These gifts of others' time and attention blessed I and strengthened I to feel valued. So I always say, oh, that person didn't make me feel valued. No. I was wrong about that. You make yourself feel valued. You value yourself. You cannot wait for somebody else to value you, appreciate you, love you, want you. You are valuing yourself. I will let what I want me. That's my quote. I will let what I want me. And I'm not going to run after anything. I'm going to let what I want what I want, but I'm going to let it want me. So that is a true gift of kindness. Specific acts of service or generosity may fade from memory. However, the impulse to love and care and the feeling that love and caring generates has its roots in kindness. Okay? This is the operational definition of love. That's kindness. I keep this in mind when I extend kindness to others. I give, share, and love generously without thought of getting anything in return. The love of God flows through I, and the love of righteousness, touching others as acts of kindness. Through I commune with righteousness, that ones will know their worth and value as divine beings. And I want to know that. I want to know my worth and my value as a divine being, because I am a divine being, and love flows through me as kindness. I always talk about flowers are the footprints angels leave behind. That is part of the angelic kindness of flowers, because they have the ability for divine love to flow through flowers. Really, truly. When someone gives you flowers, I'm telling you, give me my flowers now. Don't wait till I'm no longer able to see them. I want my flowers today. So give me my flowers now. And know that these acts of kindness are the outcome of divine love. Okay? Now, the word kindness is supported by Zechariah chapter 7 verse 9. And I haven't gone into Zechariah in some time. So Zechariah chapter 7 verse 9 speaks that that righteousness speaks, render true judgments, show kindness and mercy to one another. Okay? Show kindness and mercy to one another. We have to do that. And I myself have to do that. Okay? I may sometimes come off in a way that that can be can be offensive, because I tell the truth, and sometimes people don't want to hear that. But in Zechariah, it talks about rendering true judgments and showing kindness and mercy to one another. So when we are in disagreements with one another, or when we feel one another has wronged us or did something to us that wasn't nice, we still have to show kindness and mercy to one another, rendering true judgments. Okay, you did this, so this is the judgment. Okay, I'm going to show kindness and I'm going to show mercy, even though you did me wrong. I'm going to do that. Okay, Zechariah chapter 7 verse 9. is supporting the word today, kindness. So I'm thankful for this word today, kindness. Let's choose kindness today. Let's choose that today. I wanted to also share the verse of the day. The verse of the day. Oh, goodness. The verse of the day. Let's get to that. Okay, the verse of the day is coming from Psalms 42, verse 8. 4 to 8. This is something. This is really something. Okay. Blessed that the verse of the day today that I read is acceptable in the sight of what is right. So we have, by day, the Lord directs his love. At night, his song is with me, a prayer to the God of my life. So let's translate that into deep, uplifting words. Through the day, righteousness directs righteous love. Okay? Through the day. At night, righteousness' song is with I. So when I go to rest, that is the song that's in my mind that I'm listening to. Righteousness at night is with I. So during the day, righteousness is with you. During the night, righteousness is with you. And when you commune with righteousness, that is the righteousness of your life. Communing with righteousness to righteousness of your life. So Psalm 4:2, verse 8, 4:2-8. During the day, righteousness directs. Righteousness is love. At night, righteousness' song is with I and I. Communing with righteousness to the righteousness that's I and I life. That's your life. Righteousness. No room for anything else. Just that. Selah and Selah again. Here ends the psalm, the verse of the day. This is the word of the Lord. Blessed be the word of God. Blessed be the word of the Most High. We give thanks, thanks, and thanks. Okay, so let's review our chant psalm. So today's psalm was Psalm 13. Okay, Psalm 13. And Psalm 13 is titled, How Long, O Righteousness? So righteousness is the focus of the psalm today, and looking at righteousness within I and I life as a stronghold that will keep I and I from being shaken, and trusting in that steadfast love of righteousness. Your heart is going to rejoice in the future of your abundance of goodness that is going to be yours, your salvation. You're going to chant to righteousness because righteousness has dealt bountifully with you, with I and I. So when you go to church, you're going to chant. You're going to open your mouth and you're going to give a melody to righteousness. And because that's part of your thanks. You're giving thanks because righteousness has dealt bountifully with you. It's directed you during the night. It's directed you during the day, and it's a way of communing with for your life. So Psalm 13 is very much supportive and aligned with the verse of the day that is coming from Psalm 4:2-8. And then we have our word today, kindness, that is coming from Zechariah. The word kindness is supported with Zechariah chapter 7, verse 9. about true judgments and showing kindness and mercy to one another. Okay, so go out there, show kindness and mercy to one another. Okay, love each other and be secure in the love of righteousness. You may not be secure in the love of other people. That doesn't mean you have to attack them. That doesn't mean you have to have a mental breakdown. What it means is that your focus is off. You don't focus on humanity. Focus on your humanity in your righteousness and your mercy and your love and your goodness. Focus on that. And all that other adversities will fall away. You won't be insecure about your relationship. You would just love the person. Even though the person may have a past and may be communicating with their former relationships, it doesn't, detract from the present that you have with someone. So you be secure in yourself. And that's what happens when people are not secure with themselves, or they don't have that security of valuing themselves. They feel that somebody has to complete them. And then the person doesn't meet their expectations, they get upset. So you can't do that. You have to remember to expect from yourself worth and value, self-value and self-worth and self-respect. Get that with yourself first before you get with someone. Because immaturity, when people are immature, they tend to react in an emotional immaturity. So we have to have emotional intelligence when we're out here dealing with humanity, okay? So that's our psalm today. Have a blessed day, everyone. And remember to chant the psalm a day, every day. Every day. Have a blessed day, everyone. We're going to chant the psalm a day. Who that is, Kim? We in the Uber? Have a blessed day, everyone. Go chant a psalm a day. Have a blessed day. Reach your vision.